Are you searching for an older, yet absurdly good game to play in 2025? Well, here's 30 insane games that wasn't as successful as they should have been, so check it out. Like the video, subscribe for more, and let's go!
Well, this shouldn't take too long. My name is Ryse, and I'm the new intern.
Psychonauts 2 is a complex and intelligent 3D platformer game. It's not a simple platformer game, but one with an excellent story, filled with informations and important dialogues, and the comedy is really present in the game, and in my opinion works really well. It's obviously a sequel of the first Psychonauts, but it was released a long time after the first game, so in a matter of mechanical quality, it's way better. The studio that developed it was Double Fine Productions, a Xbox game studio, and it was released in 2021 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Mac, and PC. Combining quirky missions and mysterious conspiracies, Psychonauts 2 is a platform adventure game with cinematic style and tons of customizable psychic powers. So if you like unique platformer games, this one is a game that you shall enjoy.
Today is my first day on the job.
Get ready, Rasputin.
I'm not supposed to check out equipment to interns.
You did what? Can't we just...
No. Quit picking on the new kid. We were all new once, in case you forgot.
I've got eyes on the target. And I've got eyes on me.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a Metroidvania in the universe of the classic and iconic Prince of Persia. The game was developed by Ubisoft and released in 2024, and it's available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, Windows, and Mac. Dash into a stylish and thrilling action-adventure platformer set in a mythological Persian world where the boundaries of time and space are yours to manipulate. The game is a true Metroidvania experience, with a good gameplay and combat, nice puzzles, exploration, and insane boss fights. The big problem of the game is how it was released. We know that Ubisoft are not as good as it used to be, and the players know that, and a lot of people just don't buy Ubisoft games anymore. Some wait for the game to be released, and if they like they may buy, but in this case, the game was launched really expensive, and as you can see, it's not a AAA game, but a smaller production, so today, if you didn't play it yet, it's really worth.
Our kingdom is cursed. The prince has been kidnapped and taken to a forbidden land. All hope rests with us, the Immortals, to rescue him and save the Empire. But we weren't prepared for what was coming next.
The number one killer is time. It destroys us all. When Paul came back, he took away the only person who could stop the end of time. My brother, Will. Thing is, when time broke and changed Paul, it changed me too.
Quantum Break is an excellent sci-fi action game, developed by the master Sam Lake from Remedy Entertainment. The game was released in 2016, but the sad part is that it's just available on Xbox One and Windows, but obviously you can play on Xbox Series X and S too. The masters of cinematic action games comes Quantum Break, a time-amplified suspenseful blockbuster. The Quantum Break experience is part game, part live action show, where decisions in one dramatically affect the other. It's set in an immersive universe, just as Alan Wake and Control. Some people even think it's connected in the same universe, but it's not. There are just some references in each one of them. The gameplay is like a third-person shooter, but the universe, story, and storytelling is the great thing here, with insane cutscenes, unbelievable moments, like Remedy is used to do, and an absolute immersion.
searched for control. A way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears to smother your furies.
Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, is the first game of a series now. The second game is also good, but not as the first game in my opinion, so let's focus in Hellblade 1 here. The game was developed by Ninja Theory, the studio of Heavenly Sword, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and DMC Devil May Cry, all great games, and here the style is a bit different of these other games, a warrior's brutal journey into myth and madness. Set in the Viking Age, a broken Celtic warrior embarks on a haunting vision quest into Viking hell to fight for the soul of her dead lover. The audio system of this game is absolutely immersive and unique. The storytelling is insane, with great moments of gameplay and scenes. The combat is kinda simple, but still very fun, and there are great boss fights too. What makes it even greater for me, and the puzzles will be in everywhere, and they're really interesting. The game was released in 2017, and it's available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and PC, and it's really worth to play.
But in darkness they came, through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away.
Bulletstorm is a good and unique first-person shooter, with cool mechanics, and a fast and frantic gameplay. The game was developed by the studio People Can Fly, and released in 2011, but in 2017 the game got a new version that is enhanced to play nowadays. It's available on PlayStation 3 and 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PC, and there's a VR mode too, that you can play on MetaQuest 2 and 3, and PlayStation VR 2. Step into the boots of Grayson Hunt after a crash landing on an old resort planet forces him to make a hard choice, survival or revenge. Execute masterful kills with Bulletstorm's unique combat system that rewards you for performing the most creative and deadly kills imaginable. So if you like good fast-paced story first-person shooter games and didn't know this one, dude, believe me, it's really good, and the good part is that it's always in a good price, so check it out when you can. Mirror's Edge is an insane first-person game about parkour, one of the best games in this style to this day. It was developed by the studio DICE, from EA Games, the same studio of Battlefield series, and it was released in 2008 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows, and it's now available on iOS and Windows Phone too, but unfortunately there's no version to the new consoles. In a city where information is heavily monitored, couriers called runners transport sensitive data. In this seemingly utopian paradise, a crime has been committed, and you are being hunted. You are a runner called Faith, and this innovative first-person action-adventure is your story. The gameplay is fast and fun, with many different parkour movements, such as jumps, wall running, climbing, and much more. The game has a sequel, but it's not as good as the first game, so play the first one, that's really fun and unique. Nine Souls is one of the best indie games of 2024, an absolute masterpiece of Metroidvania games. It was developed by the studio Red Candle Games and released to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Mac, and Windows. The game is highly inspired in the classic Metroidvania games, and the combat is really inspired in Sekiro, especially the parry. That's one of the most important features of the game. A lore-rich, hand-drawn 2D action platformer featuring Sekiro-inspired deflection-focused combat. Embark on a journey of Eastern fantasy, explore the land once home to an ancient alien race, and follow a vengeful hero's quest to slay the Nine Souls, formidable rulers of this forsaken realm. As all Metroidvania games, the player will start with just a few possibilities, and as you explore in advance you'll get more and more features, allowing you to go to places you couldn't before. The boss fights are insane, with beautiful graphics, insane effects, and a difficulty worthy of a Sekiro-inspired game. But in case you don't want to have any difficulties in the game, you can play it in the easy mode, but I think it's better in the normal mode, so you'll have the true experience of this insane adventure.
Attention, lads! The brave man tastes death once. Cowards, 1,000 times over. And we have already spilled barbarian blood. And we know.
Ryse Son of Rome is a very fun hack-and-slash game released in the start of Xbox One generation. The game was developed by the studio Crytek and released in 2014 to Xbox and later on PC, and unfortunately we don't have a sequel or a remaster of this game. It tells the story of Marius Titus, a young Roman soldier who witnesses the murder of his family at the hands of barbarian bandits, then travels with the Roman army to Britannia to seek revenge. One of the best things of the game are the graphics, with impressive details to this day. The combat is really fun, with a brutal style, so if you like violent games, this one you won't be disappointed in this aspect. The gameplay is mainly about combat, but the story is fun too, with good characters, and through the game we'll explore different places since the streets of Rome to dark and haunted forests, fighting against different types of enemies. The game is really short, about 6 hours, so if you're searching for a fun and short game to play, this one is perfect for you.
Before this whole thing started, I just floated through life. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but my life didn't start until the world came to an end.
I want to be something more fun.
All right, nerds, this ends now!
I sense some epic missions in my future.
To battle!
Sunset Overdrive is an action open-world game with a lot of charisma. The studio that developed the game is Insomniac Games. Yeah, the same studio of Spider-Man games of PlayStation. But the interesting part is that this game is exclusive of Xbox One and PC, and it was released in 2014, of course before of Sony buying the studio. Sunset Overdrive transforms an open-world apocalypse into your tactical playground. Zip, grind and wall run across Sunset City with an unconventional arsenal. Hyper-agility, unique weapons, and customizable abilities deliver an explosive and irreverent adventure in the end times. The world is colored and beautiful, and despite it's in a catastrophe, the game is really charismatic and funny even, with quirky characters, cosplayers, and much more. The best thing by far of the game is the gameplay that's fast, stylish, and really immersive, with many possibilities, grinding everywhere, even in the wires of the streets, jumping in many different places, and shooting with a lot of weapons, so believe me, you won't regret playing this game if you want to have fun.
We'll take Visco down, or we won't, but we'll get some wicked respawn animations.
My apostles of Awful, you've hunted well.
Max. My name is Max.
In Mad Max, you begin with nothing. Your car, your family, your life. Everything has been taken from you.
Mad Max is an excellent open-world game. Yes, it's a game of the classic Mad Max. It was developed by the studio Avalanche Studios and released in 2015, 10 years ago, and it's to this day an insane game with an immersive universe, great gameplay, and a good feeling of progress. That makes the game really unique and fun. The game is available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, macOS, Linux, and Microsoft Windows, and of course it's also available in the current generation through the retro compatibility. So if you're a fan of Mad Max films and also like video games, this game is insane, or even you that never watched any movie, it's still really good, and is really worth to play. I believe you'll even want to watch the movies when you finish the game.
The first thing you must do is build a new car.
Here she lies, the magnum opus.
This is your magnum opus. Acquiring necessary gear throughout your journey allows you to upgrade your vehicle. These upgrades will let you build and customize your magnum opus just the way you want. In addition, you will need to equip yourself with armor and weapons in order to stand a chance against your enemies.
Geppetto's puppet. We need your help.
Lies of P is one of the best Souls-like game by Anam from Software Studio. It's my favorite one actually, without counting from software games. It was developed by the studios Round 8 and Neowiz, and released in 2023 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Windows, and Mac. If you like Souls-like game, this is an excellent game for you. The gameplay is tight and fluid, with excellent enemies, different weapons, builds, armors, powers, and of course, insane boss fights, some that in my opinion are even better than some from software boss fights. The only point of the game that didn't please me is that it's extremely linear, you'll never feel lost or even think if you're going in the right way, cause usually there's only one way. But it's really worth to play.
Your lives are a rare ability.
Power beyond your imagination.
Come back to me, Carlo.
Lie to protect yourself.
You stole my sister from me, rotten puppets!
Be careful, clever one.
I swore to uphold the tenets of the Creed. To never compromise the Assassin Brotherhood. To stay my blade from the flesh of the innocent. I was a damned fool.
Assassin's Creed Rogue is a game set exactly in the same style of Assassin's Creed 4. The reason that many people didn't play this game is simple. It was released 1 year after Assassin's Creed 4, but in the same year, the true new Assassin's Creed was the Unity. That's good nowadays, but back then it was really buggy, and Assassin's Creed Rogue was originally released on Xbox 360, PS3, and PC. That wasn't the current generation in that year anymore, so many people thought that it was a simple DLC of Assassin's Creed 4, or that it wasn't worth to play, but it is. The structure is the same of the Black Flag. You're a sort of pirate, you sail around the open map doing many quests and side quests, and really good ones. The main difference here is that you're not an assassin, but a Templar, and it works really well in this game, with good characters, insane missions, an immersive open world, and excellent soundtracks. The game is available in all current platforms, and if you like the classic Assassin's Creed style and didn't play it, do it, you won't regret.
Made me slaughter innocents! I will not let this happen again!
And now the man I once called brother is coming to hunt us all.
Traitor! Achilles will see you dead! You will fail!
I will kill every last man who defends him if I must.
Glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley.
The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we're all ripped to pieces along the way.
No! Welcome! We have a great show for you here tonight.
Someone knew they were here.
Alan Wake 2 is a masterpiece of the horror games that didn't get the attention deserved. The game was developed by Remedy Entertainment and released in 2023 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. The game was in the Game Awards for the Game of the Year, but lost to Baldur's Gate 3. But for me, my Game of the Year was Alan Wake 2. The game is a sequel of the original game released in 2010 that was an insane horror game with an impressive story and storytelling, and in the second game they rose it to another level with impressive realistic graphics and insane gameplay, extremely immersive, great boss fights, many different puzzles, and mind-blowing moments with an excellent soundtrack and audio design. And don't worry, you won't understand 100% of the story in the first gameplay.
There's something I'm forgetting. Something important. Something's not right!
Easy now. First things first. What's your name?
I've long waited for this moment. With your death, I will find peace.
I'm going to find Black Mask and put an end to this.
Batman Arkhan Origins is the forgotten game of this series. Well, it's not exactly of the same series. It was developed by another studio, different of all other games, but is set in the same universe, set before of all other games. The structure is really similar to Arkhan City, set in an open world, with quests and side quests in the same style. The combat is basically the same too, with some small differences. It was developed by the studio Warner Bros. And released in 2013 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii U, and Microsoft Windows, and many people didn't play it cause it didn't get as famous as the others, and no, it's not as good as the other games, but is still a solid Batman experience in a video game. If you played all the others and didn't play this one, I recommend you to.
Kill him and I'll pay you whatever you want. Make him suffer and I'll double it. Scream for me!
I present to you the death of the Batman.
Pardon, vigilante. You're a young man with a trust fund and too much anger.
I am the reason the criminals breathe easier when the sun rises.
Sea of Stars is an excellent turn-based RPG game. I know that some people don't like turn-based games nowadays, but believe me, this one is excellent. It's set in a beautiful world with an amazing soundtrack and gorgeous graphics. The combat is in a turn-based system, yeah, but there are action moments as you play. In some attacks you'll need to press the button in the right moment, or even to defend from attacks. That will diminish the damage taken, so you'll always feel connected to the gameplay. The game was developed by the studio Sabotage Studio and released in 2023 to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. So if you like turn-based RPG games and didn't play this one, do it, or if you never played any, this one is great to start playing.
This is gonna be weirder than usual. Can't be helped. My brother was just a kid when they took him. You called me. So here I am.
Control is another game developed by the studio Remedy Entertainment. It was released in 2019 and was also running for the Game of the Year, but didn't get it too. It's available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. The game is set in the same universe of Alan Wake. There's even a DLC totally connected to Alan Wake, and it's awesome. In the game we'll explore a building that's not exactly what it seems to be. As we play we get even more connected to the world and characters. And this game, like Alan Wake 2, is a masterpiece in a matter on art direction. It's in another level, and I'm serious. The combat is a third-person shooter, and feels like a third-person Metroidvania 2. As you advance you get more powers and weapons, that'll allow you to go even further.
There've always been angels, there've always been demons, and there've always been a war. My guns?
DMC is the forgotten game of the beloved hack-and-slash series Devil May Cry. The game is kinda despised by some fans of the series, but to be honest this is easily the game with the best gameplay of the whole series for me. I know that some old school fans don't like it, cause it was an attempt to reboot the series, and they changed some things, especially the visual of Dante, but I agree that it's not badass as the classic games, but in the gameplay for me, it's the most fun. The game was developed by the studio Ninja Theory and released in 2013 to PlayStation 3 and 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Windows. So if you never played cause some people disliked it, go play it. I assure you that the gameplay is absurd, and you'll change your mind about the game.
Your parents put you under my care. We came to Hillis. Back then, it was a peaceful planet. I had hoped to raise you there safely.
Beyond Good and Evil is an old action game that was forgotten in the time, but the good part is that there's a new version of the game now that allows you to play this insane adventure with a better quality. The original game was developed by Ubisoft and released in 2003 to PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube, but it's now available to PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Amazon Luna, and Windows. The game is set in a sort of open land. You're a reporter that's investigating a mystery, and you'll end up in the middle of something dangerous. In the game there are combat moments, exploration, investigation, and platformer, and that with a lot of charisma and originality, like we know that Ubisoft used to have these, and so far it's a really good game.
This peaceful mining planet in System 4 is now completely encircled by the Dark Armada. General Supreme Commander
Come on, honey. Whether you like it or not. Wow! A Arauco D-53. Free yourself, Jake!
You've stayed with us for 14 years.
The Nazis rule the world.
I'll find them and I'll help them fight.
B.J. Blazkowicz.
I thought I was a goner, and here you are, back from the dead.
Wolfenstein the New Order is the reboot of the first FPS series of all time, and it's an excellent reboot. If you've never played, you shall. It was developed by the studio Machine Games, the same studio of the last Indiana Jones game, that's very good too, but here it's totally different. It's a fast-paced FPS game, set in an alternative world after World War II, a universe that Germany wanted, and now you, as an American, must fight to resist the pressure of the New World government, and believe me, the story is immersive and really fun. The game was released in 2014, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and Microsoft Windows. The gameplay resembles a little bit the new Doom games, but not that fast, and with some unique features that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
I like you, such a resilient specimen.
Last winter, we were up on Farewell Ridge. We're watching the freaks. Thousands of them, I mean, too many to count, are now homeless. What belongs to them now?
Bring it!
We'll survive.
Days Gone is a game that was really wronged in the start, especially because of some bugs, but today the game is way better. It was developed by the Studio Ben Studio, a PlayStation studio, and released in 2019 to PlayStation 4, but today there's a PlayStation 5 and Windows version 2, with some small improvements. The world is no longer a place for humans, there are zombies everywhere, and they're many. You've got a motorcycle, that's going to be your journey partner. You'll make improvements, making it always better. You'll get many different weapons, meet different people, and explore an immersive and destroyed, yet beautiful open world. So if you didn't play it cause of the launch, it's really worth to play now. So bad that the sequel was kinda cancelled back then.
Two dogs! Stop, Two Dog!
Or for a future that matters, that will we fighting for.
I want to find out who did this. And then I'm gonna kill him.
Enslaved Odyssey to the West is a very good action-adventure game. It was developed by the studio Ninja Theory, the same studio that developed Hellblade 1 and 2, and DMC Devil May Cry. Some very good games in my opinion, and Enslaved is a game that was kind of forgotten in time, as it was released in 2010, to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC, but it's surely a game that you that likes action-adventure games with a good story gotta play. Follow a gripping, surprise-filled journey, as two dissimilar characters form an uneasy partnership in order to survive through a perilous, post-apocalyptic America. 150 years in the future, war and destruction have left the world in ruins with few humans remaining, and nature having reclaimed the world. A game with beautiful visuals, interesting characters, and an insane universe where you'll easily get hooked as you start playing.
I ain't gonna let that happen.
What the hell is that?
Follow me. It'll be dangerous. Maybe even suicide.
I'll deal with it.
You chose a hard road for yourself.
Hazel, please, it isn't safe!
We got a long journey ahead.
I'm always fast enough!
South of Midnight is a game that was released in April of 2025, but it really didn't get the attention deserved. It was developed by the studio Compulsion Games, and it's available on Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, and if you're a Game Pass user, the game is available there. And here I'll tell you why the game's really good. It's a 3D platformer action-adventure game, with combat, upgrades, exploration, and a very good story and storytelling. The universe of the game is rich, with a lot of details, and a lot of charisma and personality. The graphic is really beautiful. It's not realistic, but a graphic in the stop-motion style, with many animations did in stop motion. What's really nice, the combat is simple, but if you're going to play it, do it in the hard mode. It's not hard, but we'll show you why it's important to learn the mechanics, and not just press the action button all the time, giving you always new powers and upgrades. What makes the gameplay, at least for me, beyond really fluid and fun, rewarding and addictive.
It's not safe out there, Hazel.
If I was the one missing, she wouldn't stop looking.
Crouton?
What the? And this ain't even the weirdest thing I've seen today.
I'm seeing these things.
First target's name is Carrie Sheridan. I need some confidential codes hidden in her memory.
Remember Me is a story-driven third-person action-adventure game, mixing a good and immersive storytelling with a good combat that's more like a beat-em-up, all that's set in a futuristic sci-fi cyberpunk universe. The game was developed by the studio Dontnod Entertainment and released in 2013, one of the best years for games, so this is one of the reasons not many people played this game, but believe me, it's really good, and it's available on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows. In the game, take on the role of Neeleen, a former elite memory hunter with the ability to break into people's minds and steal or even alter their memories. A game with a good gameplay, interesting story, good characters, and very fun features. You gotta try it.
What kind of memory am I looking for exactly?
Stored in her brain is every detail of every building she's designed.
I'm so very sorry, madam.
How do I find her?
Your contact goes by the name of Bad Request.
Nilin the Hunter. I'm your biggest fan.
She's a pro, so keep it tight.
At the midpoint on the journey of life, I found myself in a dark forest, for the clear path was lost.
Dante's Inferno is an insane hack-and-slash game, and as you can see, it was totally inspired in God of War, with the same style of gameplay, but different of what some people think. It's not a poor copy of God of War, it's an immersive, fun, and extremely exciting game with beautiful graphics and immersive storytelling, brutal scenes, and of course, set in the classic story of Dante's Inferno. The game was developed by the studio Visceral Games, a classic EA Games studio that was closed unfortunately, and the game was released in 2010 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PSP. So no, you can't play it on PC today, except with an emulator, but the game is in the Xbox Game Pass and you can play it on Xbox One or Series X and S. So if you're a fan of hack-and-slash games and didn't play this one, play it, you won't regret. Asura's Wrath is a charismatic, fast, and intense action game. It was developed by Capcom and released in 2012 to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So yeah, you really can't play it on PC, except using an emulator, but you can play on the new Xbox consoles through the retro compatibility. The game is really unique, set in a universe where everything is way bigger than you, so in the game, you'll encounter many different bosses with insane action moments, filled with quick-time events that many people don't like nowadays, but here it's really badass, with great scenes and soundtracks. The bad part of the game is that the true ending is in a DLC, yeah, in a DLC. It even feels like EA Games did it, but no, it was just Capcom, in a time that they were kinda lost it seems, but the game is really good.
Science would have us believe that we have nearly lost our animal instincts. But with discipline, you can uncage them and turn a man into a weapon.
X-Men Origins Wolverine is a very fun superhero game, but many people don't know about the game. What's curious, but I'm here to introduce you to this insane experience. The game was developed by the studio Raven Software, an Activision studio. It was released in 2009, but there are different versions of this game, a version to PlayStation 2 and Nintendo Wii, another version to PSP and Nintendo DS, and the best version, released to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The game follows the story of the movie, but with some changes. The gameplay is really fun. Wolverine is as brutal as he gotta be, with a fast and violent combat, good visuals and graphics, and is so far one of the best Wolverine experience in video games. The new Wolverine PlayStation's game was announced, but so far we don't have much to see, but is surely going to be an insane experience of this character. But for now, this one is really fun to play.
You smell nervous.
Better than how you smell, that's for sure.
Drop zone coming up.
From the steel flesh of the fire beast himself. To summon a warrior into this world who would lead our armies to brutal victory. It was made for a god, not for you. Not for a roadie.
Brütal Legend is the game of the famous Jack Black, actor, musician, and lover of video games, and here, he gathered all these things in a very fun experience. The game mixes a lot of styles, since strategy, racing, hack and slash, and more, but it is in its core an action game that's a tribute to general rock and roll, with characters like Ozzy Osbourne and Lemmy Kilmister in the game. What is really fun for the fans of metal? It starts as a sort of hack and slash game, but as you progress you'll eventually see yourself playing an action tower defense game, that for some people this is a bad thing of the game, but just the same it's really fun. The game was developed by the studio Double Fine Productions and released in 2009 to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC, so if you like unique games, this is a good one with excellent musical references and tributes.
Now this time we're gonna mix it up. I'll defend this area, while you dudes go kick the shit out of that statue over there.
Yeah! Let's do it!
Okay, so when I do this, you go completely nut shit on whatever I'm pointing at, okay? Get ready?
Lion White sucks. Death to Lion White! I hate statues!
Well done. I'm proud of you boys. But to build an army big enough to take on the real Lion White, we're gonna need some more dudes. We gotta bust all your fellow headbangers out of these stupid mines. What do you say? Are you with me?
Yeah! Metal!
They say hope begins in the dark, but most just flail around in the blackness, searching for their destiny. The darkness, for me, is where I shine.
The Chronicles of Riddick Assault on Dark Athena is a fun first-person shooter game. It's inspired in the movie with the same name, where the main actor is Vin Diesel, and in the game he remained as the protagonist, so yeah, you can play as Vin Diesel. The game was developed by the studios Tigan Studios and Starbreeze Studios, and it was released in 2009 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Windows, and Mac OS. The game is a fun and immersive first-person shooter, with fun mechanics, an interesting story, and an immersive combat, where you'll use many different weapons, each one of them with their own style and use. Riddick is is a dangerous space criminal who can see in the dark. So in the game you'll have many interesting moments where you can approach the objectives on different ways, like stealth or run and gun. So if you want to try something different, this is an interesting game.
I'm trapped. I know what's real.
Alice Madness Returns is a third-person, single-player action-adventure and platformer. The game is set in an even more bizarre version of the world of Alice in the Wonderlands, with a lot of charisma. In the game you visit the grim reality of Victorian London and travel to the beautiful yet ghastly Wonderland to uncover the root of Alice's madness. The game was developed by the studio Spicy Horse Games and published by EA Games in 2011 to PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows, and you can play it on Xbox One or Series X and S because it's available in the Game Pass Ultimate along with EA Play. Use multiple upgradable melee weapons, including the explosive teapot cannon, the punishing hobby horse, and the classic Vorpal blade, with a lot of charisma in this dark action video game.
I'll set you free, Alice.
Is it mad to pray for better hallucinations? I've not come back here looking for a fight.
That's a pity. One's certainly looking for you.
The destruction of Wonderland is the destruction of me?
Red Faction Guerrilla is a fun action third-person shooter. It's a sequel to the previous Red Faction games that were first-person shooter games. This one is set in a different perspective and set in a destroyed open world. The game was developed by the studios Volition, Reactor Zero, and THQ Nordic and released in 2009 to Microsoft Windows, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. The game allows players to take the role of an insurgent fighter with the newly re-established Red Faction movement as they battle for liberation from the oppressive Earth Defense Force. You decide who, when, where, and how to battle. Utilize guerrilla tactics, improvised weaponry, and modified vehicles to lead insurgent attacks on EDF targets. All that as you explore and discover more and more about the world. That's really curious. And those are the games, guys. How much of these you played? Let me know it. Like the video, subscribe for more, thanks, and so long.